in a forest older than any map could claim, where the trees grew tall enough to forget the ground and the wind whispered secrets no one was supposed to hear, there lived a fox named Fexa. She was as clever as winter was cold, and she knew it. Her fur gleamed like rusted gold in the sun, and her eyes were always calculating, always ahead. Stories of her intelligence traveled like firelight from den to den. How she once outwitted 3 hunters using only a broken mirror. How she mimicked a bear's roar to scare a rival pack from a feast. How she convinced a snake to shed its skin just so she could make a new pouch for berries. Fexa collected plans the way crows collected shiny things. Every situation had an escape. Every threat had a root. She was admired, envied, feared, but never trusted. Because while her mind was a masterpiece of shortcuts and schemes, her heart was a locked door one even she hadn't picked open. Not far from her den, in the hollows where the dew always lingered and birds spoke softly, lived a cat named Rua. Small, quiet, graceful in the way still water is present, unassuming, but deep. Rua didn't boast. She didn't dazzle. Her fur was soot-colored and her steps were silent. She never offered more than a nod to passers-by, and yet somehow she was always welcome wherever she wandered. When foxes bickered, they asked her to settle it. When deer trembled at thunder, they found comfort in her stillness. No one could explain why, but they trusted her. Fexa found it fascinating. No infuriating. The cat had no plans, no maps, no known tricks, and yet she never seemed caught off guard. So one day, the fox paid her a visit. They sat beneath an elder tree, its roots gnarled like old hands. And Fexa smiled her cleverest smile. "I've heard," said Fexa, curling her tail neatly, "that you only have one trick." Rua blinked. S-L-O-W and unbothered. "Perhaps. I have over 100. The fox continued. "Care to hear a few? I don't think I remember them all," Rua said, licking a paw. Fexa scoffed but softened it into a laugh. "You don't prepare, I listen," Rua replied. "I notice. And when the moment comes, I move." The fox leaned in, curious despite herself. That's it. Fexa laughed aloud this time. "You're lucky no one's tried to trap you." "Oh, many have," Rua said, eyes flicking up. "But none succeeded, and that was that. Or it should have been. But clever minds are restless things." And Fexa, in all her brilliance, couldn't let go of the idea that someone could walk the forest with no plan and still stay whole. So she set a test. The next morning, Fexa called out across the trees, mimicking a hunter's cry. It echoed like danger dipped in certainty. Birds scattered. Squirrels fled Dot and Rua. She simply vanished. Not a sound, not a scurry, just gone. Fexa was both annoyed and intrigued. That night, she tried again. This time, she recreated the scent of smoke and the hiss of flame. Even the trees seemed fooled. She watched for the cat to panic, to scramble, to show her hand. But again, Rua was gone before the chaos reached her. By the third test, a net woven from vines and baited with songbird feathers, Fexa was no longer testing Rua. She was chasing something else, something hollow. Because what she realized, as the days passed and Rua always slipped beyond her reach, was this: the cat wasn't surviving through tricks. She was surviving through trust. The forest trusted her. The wind bent to her path. The ground gave her warnings. She didn't manipulate her world, she belonged to it. Fexa didn't. And that was the twist. All her strategies, her perfect plans, her practiced genius, it had made her brilliant. But it had also made her alone. So one evening, beneath the same elder tree, Fexa returned this time with no riddles, no plots. Rua was already there, as if she'd never left. "Did you enjoy the games?" the cat asked, tail flicking. Fexa looked down. "I thought I wanted to prove you wrong," she said. "But I think I was just hoping you'd ask me to stay." Rua blinked. "I didn't need to ask. You were always welcome." The fox sat beside her, unsure for the first time in a long while. And that night, the cleverest creature in the forest didn't bring a plan. She brought silence. And for once, it was enough.